We're going to talk about graph transformations today. So let's get started. These are a way to modify a formula and transform a graph. So what I'd like to start with is going to Desmos. Let me move out of the way here. And I'm going to type in a function. Let's start with y equals x squared plus x. And there it is. And what I'm going to do is first show you the vertical shift. So with this, I have to add a k, and that parameter will let us shift this up. So if I put in a k, Desmos lets us do a slider, and if we change the value of k, you'd see that we're shifting the graph up and down, up and down. Okay. And next is a horizontal shift. If we change it so that we change what's happening inside the function, we'll get a horizontal shift. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the slider, and I'll change this, and instead of x, I want an x minus h, and we'll change this one too. We have to change every h, and we'll add a slider. And if we change this, notice that changing the value of h moves the graph left and right. That's a horizontal shift. Well, there's other things that we can do as well, and one is a vertical reflection. What we're going to do is we're going to change the function to negative, and the easiest way to do that is let's get rid of the slider. Let's go back to the original graph. So x squared plus x, and let me put this into parentheses, and I'll just negate it, and that flips it vertically. It's a vertical reflection around the h-axis. Of course, we can also do this. With a reflection across the y-axis, but we have to change on the inside. So let's go back here. Let's modify this, and we're going to change x to a negative x. We have to change each one of them, and when I change this, you can see that it changed left, right. Actually, to make this more clear, let me just write the original equation here, and you'd see that there's two parabolas. They're shifted left and right. Okay, and there's some functions that have a certain symmetry, and those are called even and odd functions. Even means that if you shift it left and right, it stays the same. Odd means if you shift it left, right, and up and down, which amounts to a 180 degree rotation, you get the same function, and that's an odd function. Well, let's continue. Let's continue to talk about a vertical stretch. So with a vertical stretch, what we're going to do is we're going to take the function and just multiply it, the whole thing, by a parameter a. So let's go to our picture, and here we'll just put parentheses around it and multiply the whole thing by a. We'll add the slider, and notice that when we change a, it's actually shifting up and down, although it's hard to tell that it's not left or right. But notice that there's 2 points that stay the same, those x-intercepts. Okay. And there is another stretch. Thus, if we stretch it horizontally, if we change the inside function, multiply the inside function by a parameter b, it'll change it horizontally by a parameter 1 over b. So I'm going to modify this. Let's get rid of the a, and we're going to change x to bx, and we need to add a slider b, and notice that this slides it horizontally back and forth. You can see that the x-intercepts are changing, and if b is negative, that'll actually flip it over. Okay, and that is all that I want to show you today. Let's close that up, and this will help you as you do your classwork on Friday. Thanks so much.